Good day everyone. I am Cecilia G. Maure from BSE 2V and I am going to discuss about the two types of sampling techniques, the probability and non-probability sampling. When we say sampling techniques, we are talking about the method on how to get the sample from population. Let us give first a quick review on what is population and sample. When we say population, it is the entirety. It means ito po yung kabuuan ng group including all the members. For example, population of one city, one province, one barangay, and so on. While sample, it is just contain a few members of the population. The purpose of getting sample is to represent the characteristics or traits of the whole population. Bakit po ba natin kailangang kumuha ng sample? Halimbawa, in one city, there is a total of 500,000 residents. If we include the whole population in the study, it will take us a lot of efforts and also resources. Imagine, we will give a survey on that 500,000 people, and if we have questionnaire, we also need to provide 500,000 copies of that. And because of these reasons, we are getting sample in order to collect data concerning our population. And one more thing, it is also important that the sampling techniques we choose is accurate based on the study we are conducting, because each sampling technique has its own advantages and disadvantages. Moving on, there are two types of sampling techniques, the probability sampling and non-probability sampling. In probability sampling, every member of the population has the chance of being selected. It means kahit nakatira ako sa pinakadulong barangay, I still have the chance to be a part of the study because in probability sampling, it involves principles or randomization or chance. We have the process that all the members of the population have chance to involve in the study. There are four basic types of probability sampling: simple random sampling, systematic sampling, stratified sampling, and cluster sampling. In a simple random sample, every member of the population has an equal chance of being selected. Your sampling frame should include the whole population. To conduct this type of sampling, you can use tools like random number generators or other techniques that are based entirely on chance. For example, you need to select a simple random sample of 10 employees of Gemini Company. You assign a number to every employee in the company database from 1 to 30 and use a random number generator to select 10 numbers. Systematic sampling. It is similar to simple random sampling, but it is usually slightly easier to conduct. Every member of the population is listed with a number, but instead of randomly generating numbers, individuals are chosen at regular intervals. For example, all employees of the company are listed in alphabetical order. From the first 10 number, you randomly select a starting point, number 6. From number 6 onwards, every 10th person on the list is selected. 6, 16, 26, 36, 46, 56, 66, 76, 86, and 96. And you end up with sample of 10 people. Stratified sampling involves dividing the population into subpopulations that may differ in important ways. It allows you to draw more precise conclusions by ensuring that every subgroup is properly represented in the sample. To use this sampling method, you divide the population into subgroups called strata based on the relevant characteristics. Example, gender, age range, income bracket, job role. Based on the overall proportion of population, you calculate how many people should be sampled from each subgroup. Then you use random or systematic sampling to select a sample from each subgroup. For example, the company has 800 female employees and 200 male employees. You want to ensure that the sample reflects the gender balance of the company, so you sort the population into strata based on gender. Then you use random sampling on each group, selecting 80 women and 20 men, which give you a representative sample of 100 people. Cluster sampling also involves dividing the population into subgroups. but each subgroup should have similar characteristics to the whole sample. Instead of sampling individuals from each subgroup, you randomly select entire subgroup. For example, the company has offices in 10 cities across the country. You don't have the capacity to travel to every office to collect your database, so you use random sampling to select 3 offices. These are your clusters. Moving on, let us now discuss the non-probability sampling. In non-probability sampling, not every member of the population has the equal chance of being selected. It can rely on the subjective judgment of the researcher. It means the researcher has the control who will be involved in the study. He or she may consider some factors. There are 4 types of non-probability sampling: the convenience sampling, purposive sampling, quota sampling, and snowball sampling. Convenience sampling. In convenience sampling, selecting a sample based on the availability of the member and/or proximity to the researcher. It means respondents that are near or respondents that are available are those who will be selected to be a part of the study. It is also known as accidental, opportunity, or grab sampling. Next is purposive sampling. From the word purpose, samples are chosen based on the goals of the study. Respondents may be chosen based on the knowledge of the study being conducted or if they satisfy the traits or conditions set by the researcher. For example, when we are doing a study in the field of psychology, of course we will choose respondents that have a knowledge on that field. If we are talking about education, our respondents are those who have a long experience in the field of education, such as principal and division superintendent. Another perspective when it comes to purposive sampling is the traits and conditions needed in the study. For example, you have a science research that concern with specific blood type or age group. The blood type and age group are the trait and condition needed for choosing the respondents. This type of sampling are very specific, that's why respondents are limited as part of the study. Let us now proceed to the third type, which is quota sampling. In quota sampling, our concern is the proportion of the groups in the population were considered in the number on selection of the respondents. It is called quota because the only thing researchers need to do is to fulfill the number of samples needed regardless of the method he or she uses. Next one is the snowball sampling. In snowball sampling, participants in the study were tasked to recruit other members for the study. In this way, the researcher identifies a key informant about a research interest and then asks the respondents who can participate in the study. It is like networking.